Friends, yesterday I saw a video of one sadhu in Kumbh Mela. He was explaining very seriously about who is a sannyasi. And I mean, I'm not making fun of that, but during the course, he said that, a real sannyasi will have just 1 inch of ling. Ling means sexual organ. So he will have only 1 inch, and that is the real sannyasa. That is what he is saying.
जिसका झोला रहेगा वो साधु है, आज जिसका झोला नहीं है, नंगा है, ऊपर में कपड़ा है, नीचे कपड़ा है, वो है सन्यासी। सन्यासी का लिंग जो होता है 1 इंच रहेगा, वो असली सन्यासी होता है।
So, it. So, I may not qualify in that way. So, then I had been thinking of making a video on what is real sannyasa, etc., for a long time now. But, watching that yesterday, I thought I have to make it quicker. And I have observed this that every group of people and every individual might have his or her own understanding of what real sannyasa is. Then I understood that people actually don't even understand what marriage is. And then if you go further, they don't even understand what life is. Therefore, what happens is we all have various ideas on what life is, what a human being is, what marriage is, what sannyasa is. We all define in different ways. So it is very natural that we all have our differences because of our backgrounds and levels of evolution and various other factors. So, well, if I say that this is what Vivekananda meant when he said, "Who is the real sannyasi?" Or if I say that this is what Jesus meant, or yeah, Society of Jesuits, and there are so many Catholic monks and nuns, etc. So there will be, there cannot be a universal agreement. But one thing I have seen that most people, as masses, they all agree for brahmacharya. So if a person is a sannyasi, then that person must be following the rules of brahmacharya, celibacy, etc. That much is accepted, almost. It is like 95% to, I don't know, even the exceptions also don't come out. So yes, I also accept that that is one of the important qualities of a sannyasi. But if we think that if we are trying to look at sannyasis and or greater people in our religion, so when what we are trying to find is who knows the path actually towards the truth, who knows the path to God, and what do I do to come out of the problems that I have created myself, and the society has created for itself and myself also. There are various things we have done, everything that people and our elders have told us, but still we are under problems. That this kind of pressure is unbearable. So people are on the lookout. Who will guide me? Who is my guru? And definitely these such people must know more. So one of the qualifications they think that these kind of people know more is because they are not involved in so many things that I am involved in. Though they were rebellions in the society, they did not follow what the elders said. They followed what the greatest people said. So in that marga, they have sacrificed themselves a lot, and therefore they must be able to lead me further on. And that is why people put a lot of shraddha in these people who are either monks or even more than that. Peethadipatis, Mathadipatis, nowadays this discussion is going on in South India. Who is a Mathadipati, who is a Peethadipati, who is just a sannyasi, and what should be these people? What should these people do? What should the other people do? What should these people not do, etc. Because there have been some disagreements that became public, and people take sides, and automatically people take the side of a brand. Any person who has following brand and who has more money and more influence over the society, etc. So people generally just go on with the flow. because that way it is easier for everybody, right? They're already they're already ridden with problems in their life, and that is why they come to monks and these swamis and sadhus. And then if they are further in within these sadhus, etc., there are differences of opinion. Then they think that, okay, I will choose the easiest way. So who is easier, I mean, following whom my life becomes easy, I will follow that. And who is authentic, in that way they just continue to follow. They don't bother about the intricacies or nuances of the arguments that these people present to each other, whether they are presenting, and also in between excitement and lots of heat comes in, and agitation of mind, all the kama krodha lobha moha mada matsaras, they're all exhibited in the arguments, etc. So things get dirty, like then people lose hope. Hundreds and thousands of people, and even lakhs of people lose hope if there is a problem, if there is a difference of opinion that is public between these people. So what happens is, easily they will simply say that we want somebody as a guru, as a guide, and who is formidable, who is extremely confident, and who is authentic, etc., and who has facilities and who has influence over people, etc. There are four things that we are all after. One is dhan, another is pad, another is bal, and roop. Roop means not just beauty but also identity. What is your identity? That one. And bal means how the physical strength. Apart from that, janabal also, how many people you can influence, etc. And pad means the position that you, and the power that you wield. And dhan is money, we all know. So we are all after these four things in life. Without these four things you cannot do anything in life, really. So when these people see that these people are following brahmacharya continence, and also their dressing is different, their style is different, they are rebels in the society, but they are also on top of the society, and they also are able to wield this dhan, pad, bal, and roop. They have a lot of these aishwarya also. Therefore they automatically, very easily select these people as their gurus and go forward. So what I was trying to say is, all of this is correct and good, and that is there. But over and above sannyasi also, there are so many stages. Like there is a sannyasi, and there is a muni, and there is a rishi, and there is drashta, and there is yogi, and there is siddha purusha, and there is avadhuta, and there is avatara. I mean, avatara means Bhagwan, but there are semi avatars also, like who come with avatara. Acharya for the scriptures. There are several stages. There are mystics. So what happens is, we do not know the differences between them. So we think all of them must be equal, and we will decide who they are, and we will decide what they should do, what they should not do, etc. Most people do not know that we don't get to decide what they will do, what they have to do. See, either you are a learner or you are a teacher. You have to first decide what you are. So if you want to be a learner, be a learner and let the teacher teach. You don't teach the teacher, or you don't set expectations just because you think that majority of the people in this world agree in a particular way, agree to disagree to something, therefore that must be right. So these thoughts are all very normal, I mean very regularly found thoughts. So these people, the above category people that I have told, the sannyasi, rishi, muni, avadhuta, yogi, siddha, and mystic. I don't know how to translate that mystic. So all these people, they're all different people. They're all very advanced people. So what they should do, you should not decide. What they do, if you have a doubt why they are doing, you don't understand and you get confused, you ask them. They will tell you. You don't have faith, don't follow them. No problem. It's as simple as that. It is on you ultimately. So they may be able to tell you in with reason, or they may not be able to tell you. They may be able to tell you with words, or they will try to find and wait and for long time sometimes, and show you practically in your life. So this is the answer for the question that you have asked. So there will be various methods. So it will be very rare that if you find a person who immediately is willing to answer and has the ability to answer with reason for you. Then if you apply your own logic and you are quite confident, then you also has to understand, and you are disagreeing with that person. It's okay to disagree. It is not necessary that you should agree to everything, but you should also understand that that person is talking from that person's stage and you are talking from your own stage. So there are several flaws of logic and reason. So those flaws may be operating. So you may say that those flaws are operating with that person also. Then that may be true, but you have to anyway understand that that person, the ability to give you reasons for things that are spiritual in nature, that are subtler in nature, much subtler in nature than we can grasp. So that is a favor that they are doing, and therefore there is a limit to how much they can do that also. So reason ultimately is limited. Vivekananda said you have to go following the reason and go wherever the reason takes you. So once you see this is the end of the reason, then you have to follow your higher powers like intuition, etc. Instinct belongs to animal, and intuition belongs to higher things. Therefore your intuition and love, heart, prayer, meditation, and all of these things work further to take you farther, and faith and trust in God and all these things, and your own past experiences, experiences born out of your own past experiences, uh, the the ease with which you see things or understand things, that is the reason for this is your past experiences, your past sadhana, etc., that you do. So ultimately, let me when I started, I was talking about the definition of sannyasa. So let me tell you what I think is sannyasa personally. Yes, all the above, whatever I've told, and whatever generally it is held like that. But for me, the most important quality of a sannyasi is whether that person is a parent to the whole humanity or not. So, a sannyasi means a person who considers the whole world and humanity as his family, the whole world as his home, and the whole humanity as his or her relatives. Okay. God is father, mother, and everybody else is brother and sister, and like that. So that this person is worried about everybody. This person's whole and soul aim or purpose is to serve everybody. Now, serve means not what they say, but this person will guide and direct the society if the society accepts that guidance. If the society again doesn't accept that, then this person cannot do anything. That is there must be a consensual relationship between society and a sannyasi. If both must be dependent on each other. So sannyasi will be dependent on society for money and sustenance and temporal things, but the society is dependent on the sannyasi for guidance and for direction and for solutions that are spiritual in nature. Now if the society, if see, it will never be like either sannyasi or society does not need money. So money will be always needed to live on in these bodies that we take up. Therefore the sannyasi will always be in need of a society. But society, according to its eligibility only, will realize how necessary the sannyasi is, sannyasi or the yogi. So when I'm saying sannyasi in this category, all these other people come: sannyasi, yogi, muni, avadhuta, yogi, siddha, mystic, and such other, all these people all together. That is what I'm saying. So all these people will be able to work only as much as the society is able to accept them. Now uh, Mathadipatis and Pithadipatis, etc., they have one other responsibility that they take up willingly, that they build the acceptance of society towards them. They build it, they maintain it. This is a very tricky thing, because if you have to build society's acceptance and you have to do what society wants you to do, it is a different level of work altogether, because society is after all world and worldly, therefore by nature. So worldly means you have to have tact, you have to have lots of calculation, you have to have lots of worldly wisdom, etc. Therefore what happens is, unless you as a sannyasi or you as a holy person also have this kind of tact and worldly wisdom, you will not be able to build the society's acceptance and maintain it. So what you will do is, people like me, I do not have that kind of tact, or I do not, I cannot, I'm not good with sales. I'm not good with talking what is not in my mind actually, but just to please others. I'm not at all good at that, and I don't want it. Actually, I also take a decision, even if I can. Sometimes, to some extent, we practice that sometimes, just to to be able to go reasonably well in this society. We have to practice some kind of courtesy and some kind of accepted practices. We need to pay heed to them, be respectful towards them, and then practice a little. But beyond that point, I refuse to choose to please people just because they will do some benefit to me in turn. And I do not, if I ever find myself getting into some deal kind of thing, that I do this, you do this. See, there are deals in this whole nature by design, that is okay. Because just like, I mean, we are all interdependent, that is also a deal, but that is by design. But if I have to deliberately enter, and when I have a choice, I don't want that to happen. Unless we agree and acknowledge that openly. Openly, if we are acknowledging, that is okay. The worldliness comes when I know I want this. I'm talking to this person because I want this in return. Because this is my expectation from that person, and that person should do. And I will not tell that person that this is my expectation. That person might and should understand that without my telling, without making it open between us. And then afterwards, after I invest myself in this person, after that, later on, if that person did not behave according to what I expected that person to behave, in the way that I expected that person to behave, then I'm going to get angry on that person. Then I'm going to feel disappointed, and that person actually cheated me. If this is how I feel, that is worldly, and that I cannot uh, be a person who will do that. So because such things, there are so many such things that we will have to do it. It is a very tricky work, and very difficult work to maintain your values of sannyasa, which is, for example, not thinking about tomorrow. That is one of the ways of sannyasi. You cannot think about what happens tomorrow. And another way of sannyasi is that you don't have defense, you don't have self defense, like in the sense that if somebody thinks bad about you, let them think, no problem, what is there, that is God's will. So but what happens is, in vyavahara and your own nature, okay, sadhana. So sadhana and vyavahara, when they have to go together, then these problems come. So, for example, if somebody thinks wrong about me, based on something, based on a lie, and I have to, and that person does not ask me but concludes like that, I can see that that is wrong thing, that is injustice being done. People in relationship must always ask and verify whether that is whatever they heard is right or wrong, etc., or whether their doubts are true or not, to the person that they have doubts about. But when they don't give that opportunity to the person to clarify, etc., and just conclude, and then just that relationship just goes down, and because of which our religious work and spiritual work, or whatever that work that we want to do for the whole humanity, that is stunted. then that is not acceptable. I mean, that we cannot let it go just like that. Therefore, we have to make a compromise there. So the more we compromise, we are unhappy as a sadhu, and if we compromise, then what they will tell you, what the world will itself tell you that, see, you have compromised it. See, this is where you have to play. You have pleased because you are not a sannyasi. So all this, the lack of balance will be there. Therefore, what I try to do all the time is, for example, my Guru Ranganathanandaji, he was in Delhi, I think. Then he was in the monastery that he was there, and people were discussing about building a temple for Sri Ramakrishna there. If I'm right, he only when he was there only this temple was built. So, what I heard is that when people came to Ranganathanandaji and asked him, Swamiji, why don't you ask for donations, ask for appeal for donations, publish some appeals here and there, so that we will get some money, and then slowly we will collect money, and then we will build Sri Ramakrishna's temple. His answer was very clear. He said, I will not keep on asking these people, that people, etc. Small amounts will come, and then we will build a temple after a few years, several years. I will do it when, and if people are ready to give in big chunks of money, I will not waste my energy, or I will not devote my energy to collect small amounts, and at once we build a temple. That is not priority. The work that we are doing, the worship of human beings that we are doing, that is important. Temple is a facility. Definitely, it helps many people to focus on their spiritual practice, etc., etc. If they want it, they will do it, and it should not bother us too much. It should, I mean, the money, if it has to come, let it come, but let some other people take initiative and do it. I will not focus on that. This is what he made it very clear. So in the same way, if at all the society wants to take what we have, we are ready to give, and we would be overjoyed, we would be very happy to give. But if the society does not want, cannot, is not unable to recognize, we do some things, but we cannot go after the society requesting and begging the society to keep listening to us, etc., etc. We do it sometimes out of desperation, because we see that society is hurting itself, and we feel very empathetic towards the society, and therefore we try to do some things. But again we stop, because the society, even when we do it, the society thinks that we are doing it for ourselves. So it is a worldly quality to ascribe motivations, wrong motivations to people. So in the same way that if we try to do something and people ascribe wrong motives to you, like as if you want to be famous, or you want to gain money, you want to gain, following, and so many other things, etc. So it's not that, like, we can let them think like that. But the point is, those people hold keys like this: dhan, pad, bal, jan. Um, so these four kinds of bala are there. So they hold those keys. So we have to make corrections in those respects, etc. So most of our time is occupied by this thing, but we are not able to do the main work that is there. And mostly because we don't have these four, and we don't want to keep seeking that like that. So there will be few people who decisively will work upon building society's acceptance towards them, and we respect them, because they're okay, they are temperamentally, they want to do it. But in that case, most of the cases, what happens is, we see where they are becoming worldly themselves, and therefore that also fails. But if there are some people who are successfully able to do so, that without polluting themselves, and if they are able to build and keep the society's acceptance towards greater ideas and people, the society is able to take their guidance for longer time, it would be Herculean task that they might have completed. So my definition of sannyasi is my priority, or the my most important point is that a sannyasi is a father, mother to the society, and this sannyasi must be able to think all of the humanity as his or her children, and God as the parent. This is number one. Number two, a sannyasi should speak what is in his own mind. Whatever is in the mind, that should come to the speech, and that should be done. Okay, this is very important. Trikarana Shuddhi, they say. So, what you think, that you speak, and that you do. This is Trikarana Shuddhi. And for that, that sannyasi can do anything towards this goal. The sannyasi can do anything. But I do not hold really the other things as very important, whether that sannyasi eats vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food. As you know very clearly, Vivekananda was a non-vegetarian, and Bengalis are non-vegetarians by most of the by majority, except Vaishnavas, etc. So all of those things are okay if we have a vegetarian diet, that is better. But the religion need not be obsessed about these things much. Yeah, it will help. Being vegetarian will help, but for some people, um, it's okay. Like if they have formed habits for life, and rather than struggling to uh, become a vegetarian, if you struggle to become an upright person, a gentleman who thinks what he says and does what he says and thinks, so that kind of a person, number one, and who is always trying to dedicate that person's energy, time, money, and attention, etc., towards the goal, or towards the absolute good of the society, not relative good, but absolute good of the society. So the other things can be ignored, I think, safely. I just wanted to tell this. Thank you.